Hello everybody, welcome to Yoga for Self-Love with Kim. I am Kim. This will be a short, slow flow Vinyasa practice today. One of the many things that I love about yoga is that it creates this sacred space, sacred container for me, for you, for all of us who practice yoga. We can come to our mat, take some time with ourselves, check in and see what we need, and that can change every day. So at the beginning of every practice, that's what I do. Sit, check in, see what I need, what my body needs, what my mind needs, what my spirit needs, what my energy needs, and then I go from there. So we'll do that today. So this practice will unfold as we go. So thanks for sharing this little journey with me. Bring yourself to your mat. And let's begin. Just find a comfortable seat. If it feels okay for you, close your eyes. Could bring one hand to rest on the heart, one hand to rest on the belly, or maybe both hands to rest on the heart space. And begin to check in with your breath. Check in with your body. Notice any feelings, emotions swirling around. Notice how your energy feels today. Notice anything at all that comes up for you. And as always, I invite you to bring in the intention to be gentle, kind, patient, loving, and compassionate with yourself as you move through this practice. And then slowly release the hands down. Begin to blink your eyes open. Find your way to the back of your mat and bring yourself into a child's pose. And your version of child's pose, so you could have the legs together, or you could take the legs wide with the big toes coming towards each other behind you. Settle your bum back towards your heels. Maybe give yourself a little wiggle, a little rock here, and then find your way in. Release your forehead down to the mat, or make a little pillow with the arms. Take a few nice, deep, smooth breaths here. Imagine that you're filling up your whole torso with every inhalation. The front of the body, the back of the body, the sides of the body. And then as you exhale, you slowly release the breath back out, allowing everything to relax back in towards center. A few more deep breaths here. And then if your arms are not outstretched, outstretch them now. Reach the hands out in front of you. Roll up on to your finger pads so the arms are lifted, forearms are lifted, palms are lifted up off of the mat. And now send your breath into your back body. All the way into the top back corners of the lungs, the lower back corners of the lungs. And then release the palms down to the mat. Slowly slither your way down onto your belly. We'll bend the left knee and bring it out to the side, hip level-ish. And then slide your right arm underneath your left arm. Then take your left palm on top of the right. Slowly begin to peel the left elbow back as you slowly roll onto your back. Unfurl that left arm. Finding this nice, spacious, reclining twist. Feeling that opening across the front of the chest. And then slowly, left arm reaches back over. Left palm comes back to meet the right. And then we'll find our way back onto our belly. Left leg comes back in. Back onto your belly you go. Same thing other side. Let's bend the right knee. Bring that right knee out to the right side. And then we'll tuck that left arm underneath the body. Bring your right palm on top of that left arm. And then slowly bend the right elbow. Pull it back. Open that right arm out to the side as you roll over onto your back. You can gaze over towards your right hand or turn your head to look over towards the left, or maybe even give the head a little rock from side to side while you're here. And then slowly find your way back over onto your belly. Your right hand comes back to meet the left. Pull that right leg in, and then back onto your belly you go. Let's bend the knees, draw the feet in towards your bum, and then release the feet back out. Again, bend the knees, draw the feet in towards your bum, and then release the legs back out. One more time, draw the feet in towards the bum, and then release the right foot down to the mat. Let's reach the left hand back, grab a hold of that left leg, pull it in towards your bum, give yourself a little quad stretch, and then release. Left leg moves back down towards the back of the mat, and let's pull both feet in again, and release that left foot down, reach back for that right foot, grab a hold, pull it in towards your bum, little quad stretch on this side, and then release. Hands under shoulders, press yourself back up to sit on your heels, legs together, coming into Vajrasana. So open the arms wide, cactus the arms, lift up through the heart, lift up through your gaze, and then we'll round through the upper back, bring the palms together in front of you, draw the front body towards the back body. And then we'll open up the arms again, cactusing the arms, lift up through the heart, and then curl yourself in, rounding through the back, palms come back together in front of you. One more time, cactus arms, curl in, palms come back together, and then release the hands down. Take the hands forward for a moment, tuck the toes under, and walk yourself back up to come up onto your toes. You can keep the fingers down on the mat here, or if it's available to you, bring the palms together at the heart. Yogi toe pose. You can stay here at center. Keep hugging in through the inner legs, in through the heels, in through the feet. Reaching the tail down and the crown of the head up. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, hold it here, or little baby twist over to your right. And then bring yourself back to center. Keep squeezing in through the legs. Deep breath in, lengthening up through the crown of the head. With the exhale, again, little baby twist over to the left. Bring it back to center. Release the hands down to the mat now. Lift your hips up, turn your feet out at a little bit of an angle, and then lower your bum down. We'll take it into Malasana squat pose. Take your palms together, elbows inside the knees, elbows pressing the knees open at the same time, knees hugging in towards the elbows, so you're finding some resistance here, turning on through the inner legs. And finding that nice long spine, tail reaching down, crown of the head reaching up. And then release, walk yourself out into table. And then rock your body from side to side, or find any movement that feels intuitive for you, finding sneaky motions with the spine, or looking over towards one hip and then the other. And then bring yourself to center. So we'll work our way through some cat-cow. Inhale as you soften the belly, lift the tail, draw the heart forward, lift your gaze. And as you exhale, press into the palms, hug in through the arms, round up through the back, suction the front of the body towards the back body, look towards the navel. Inhale again as you find that cow, belly softens, heart lifts. Exhale, you find your cat rounding through the back, pressing the earth away from you. And then a few more, finding your pace, following your breath. And then bring yourself back to your table, neutral spine. And then we'll shift the shoulders a little bit forward of the wrists, and then circle over towards the right, pull the shoulders back behind the wrists, and then circle the shoulders over towards the left, and then continue a few times circling around, bringing the shoulders forward of the wrists, over to one side, back behind the wrists, and over to the other side a couple times, and then we'll switch the direction. And then bring yourself back into your table. Turn the hands around, so fingers face back towards you or back and out to the sides. And then gently pull your bum back towards your heels. Feel this opening through front of the forearms, the wrists. And take a few breaths here. And then let's turn the palms now, fingers facing out, palms facing inward, and just give yourself a little rock side to side. And then turn the palms back to face forward, tuck the toes under, press into the arms, glide the hips up and back, finding your way into downward dog. Bigger little bend in the knees here. Press down through the hands. Lift up through the arms, up through the armpits. Send the heels down towards the earth. And then find some movement here, whatever feels good in your body today. A little shake, rock, pedaling out legs, bending knees. And then slowly walk yourself up to the top of the mat. Fold it in, forward fold, belly to thighs, let the head go. Shake the head out. Hands to the mat or grab elbows and give the arms a little swing. Hips a little sway. And then bring yourself to center. Interlace fingers at your low back. And then either keep the hands where they are resting on low back, or begin to slowly peel the arms off of the back and up overhead. Keeping a little bend through the elbows, so the elbows are soft. And then hands come back to the low back. Hands to the hips, press into your feet and come all the way up. Tadasana, palms come together at the heart. And then we'll inhale as we reach the arms up. Exhale, fold yourself in, hinging from hips, belly back to the thighs, head drops down. Give it a little nod, a little shake. And let's bring it halfway up to a flat back. Fingers press into the mat, the shins, the thighs. tail reaches back as the crown of the head reaches forward. And then soften the knees, fold yourself back in. Bring hands down to the mat and step yourself back into a plank. Pressing down into the hands, lifting up through the belly, reaching out through the heels, out through the crown of the head. And lower your knees down to the mat. Lower your pelvis down, belly down, all the way down to the belly. Hug the arms in and lift your heart up, baby cobra. For a moment, lift up the hands. And then release the hands back down to the mat. Tuck the toes under and we'll press it up and back into a downward dog. Bend your knees, crouch down. Press down into the feet, hug in through the legs, lift up through the belly, roll yourself forward, find plank. Pull the hips back into your down dog. Bend the knees, crouch down, and then roll it forward again, finding your plank pose. And then hips up and back. One more time. Crouch it down, roll it forward, find that plank from here. Lift up your right foot and release that right foot down. Lift up your left foot and release the left foot down. Hips up and back, down dog. Walk yourself up top of the mat, fold it back in. Let's bring it halfway up to our flat back and then fold yourself in. Press into your feet, rise all the way up, palms together overhead. Hands come back down to your heart. We'll reach the arms up, fold it in. Halfway lift. Plant your hands down, step it back into your plank. Drop your knees down to the mat. Slowly find your way down to the belly. Elbows hug in, lift the heart, baby cobra. If you feel ready, lift the heart a little higher, full cobra. Release yourself down, tuck toes. Press the hips up and back. Down dog. Crouch down, send the right leg up for a three-legged dog. Bend that right knee. Shift yourself forward. Draw that right in towards nose, chest, forehead. And then we'll step that right foot through to that right thumb. Drop the left heel to the mat. Hug your right hip back and begin to lift yourself up. Warrior one. Arms reach up. You sink into that front knee. And then hands come back down to the mat. Step it back into your plank. And then this time, drop knees, come all the way down to the belly, find your cobra, or if you prefer, we'll take it into chaturanga, low push-up, and then up dog. So roll it forward on the toes, bend the elbows, lower yourself about halfway down-ish, shoulders above level of elbows. Come on to tops of feet, keep thighs lifted, pull the heart forward, up dog. And then we'll take it back into our downward dog. Crouch it down. Let's send that left leg up, three-legged dog. Bend that left knee, shift forward, core plank, knee to chest. Step left foot through to left thumb. Trying to drop that right heel down to the mat. This foot's about a 45-ish degree angle. Press into that front foot, lift yourself up, peel it up off of that front thigh. Arms reach up. Left hip hugs back. Right hip forward a little bit, warrior one. Hands down to the mat, step it back into your plank. Now find your flow. Meet back and down dog. Step or hop it up top of the mat. Fold it back in, forward fold. Come halfway up, flat back. And then fold in again, press into the feet, rise up. And hands come back to heart. Reach the arms up. Fold it in. Halfway lift. Hands to the mat, we'll step it back to plank. Find your flow. Meeting in our down dog. Crouch down, send left leg up, three-legged dog. Bend that knee, shift forward, core plank, and then step that left foot through. Drop that right heel to the mat. Let's bring it back up, warrior one. And from here, we'll take it forward into a warrior three. If you want blocks for your warrior three, go ahead and grab them and bring them up to the top of the mat. Otherwise, we'll take the weight forward into that left foot, left leg. Begin to lift up from your belly and extend that right leg up and back. You can bring palms together at the heart, hands down to your blocks, hands to rest over on the low back. Arms reach forward, out to the sides, whatever you like. And then we'll slowly step right foot back. Bend that left knee, bring it back into warrior one. And then hands down to the mat, step it back into your plank and find your flow. Back in our down dog, let's crouch down, send right leg up. On the right knee, shift forward, step right foot through. Drop that left heel to the mat, hug the right hip back, lift up. Bending right knee, find that warrior one. And then slowly we take it forward, weight into that front leg, lifting up through the belly, and send that left leg back, warrior three. Your variation with the hands. Slowly step left foot back to the mat, bend the right knee, come back up through your warrior one. Hands down to the mat, step it back into plank, and again, find your flow. Meeting in downward dog, and again, step or hopping up top of the mat. Fold it back in, Uttanasana. Halfway lift. Fold it in. Press into your feet, rise up. Palms back to heart. Reach up. Fold it in. Halfway lift. Hands to the mat, step it back to your plank. Find your flow. Meeting in down dog, let's crouch down, send right leg up. Bend right knee, send it forward, core plank. Step the right foot through. This time let's turn and drop that left foot, toes pointing out to the side. Bend both knees, press into the earth, lift up and open it into a warrior two. Arms reach wide. Take that left hand to the left thigh, right arm reaches up and over the ears. You arch back into a reverse warrior, and then bring it back up into your warrior two. Hands down to the mat, step it back, find your flow. And then from your down dog again, let's crouch down, send left leg up, three-legged dog. Bend that left knee, shift forward, step that left foot through, turn, drop that right foot, bend both knees, lift it up, open it into warrior two. Right hand to the right thigh, left arm up over the ear, reverse warrior. And then back up. Warrior two. Hands come back down to the mat. Step it back, find your plank, find your flow. And from your down dog, step or hop up top of your mat and fold yourself back in. And then halfway lift, flat back, fold in. Press into the feet, lift up, palms come back down to the heart, reach up, fold in, halfway lift. Plant your hands, step back to plank, find your vinyasa. And we'll meet back in down dog again. Crouch down. Send right leg up. Bend the right knee, shift forward. Step right foot through. Turn and drop left foot. Toes pointing out to the side of the mat. Bend both knees. Lift up. Open it into warrior two. Reverse warrior, left hand to that left thigh. Right arm up over the ear. Back into your warrior two. We'll take it into a half moon pose. Reaching right hand towards the top corner of the mat or block. Weight into that right foot. Step, hop, slide that left leg in. Draw that left knee in towards your chest. And then begin to open that left leg out. Open up the hip. Stack that left hip on top of the right. And then maybe you reach that left arm up. Give yourself a smile. And then slowly soften that right knee. Step that left foot back to the mat. We'll open it back in to our warrior two. And then hands down to the mat. Step back to plank. Find your flow. From your downward dog, let's do it on the other side. Crouch down. Send the left leg up. Bend that left knee, shift forward, core plank. Step left foot through. Turn and drop right foot. Bend the knees, press down into the earth, lift up. Open it, warrior two. Right hand to the right thigh. Lift arm up over the ear, find that reverse warrior. And then lift back up, warrior two. Sink a little deeper into that left knee. We'll take it into our half moon pose. Left hand reaching for top corner of the mat or block. Weight into that left foot. Draw that right knee in towards your chest. And then extend that leg back behind you and open up that hip. Open the pelvis. Right arm can stay on the hip, or you can reach the right hand up towards the ceiling. You shift your gaze wherever you need to. You can look down, out to the side, up at that upper hand. And then slowly begin to bend that left knee, step that right foot back to the mat, open it back into a warrior two. And then hands come down to the mat. Step it back into your plank. Find your flow. Meeting in our downward dog. Walk your hands back to meet your feet. And then fold in at the back of the mat. Give your head a little nod, a little shake. Hips a little rock. And then turn your feet out, heels in. Lower your bum down. Let's come back into our squat pose, Malasana. Elbows inside the knees. Knees hug in, elbows press out. Palms come together. And then release hands. Turn the feet in a little bit so they're a little bit more parallel-ish. Reach your arms forward. Open the hands. Open and close the fingers a few times. And then we'll slowly take the hands forward. Bring the knees to the outer arms or the armpits. Slowly begin to roll up onto the balls of the feet as you take the hands forward. And then squeeze everything in towards the midline. Maybe you roll up onto balls of feet. Maybe you lift up the feet, hug in through the arms, hug in through the belly. Lower the feet back down. Palms together. Elbows pressing into knees, knees pressing into elbows, lengthening through the spine. And then let's do it one more time. Hands reach forward, inside the knees, or knees come to back of the arms or armpits. Spread the fingers nice and wide. Slowly begin to send the hands forward to the mat. As you do that, roll up, spreading the fingers nice and wide. As you do that, roll up onto balls of the feet. Lift the bum, bring the elbows forward over the wrists, and then maybe you lift up one foot, maybe two. Squeeze everything in. Squeeze it in. And then lower feet down to the mat. Let's turn the feet out a little bit. Come back to Malasana. And then from here, lower your bum down to the mat. Extend the legs forward. Shake out the wrists. And then take fingers into the mat underneath the shoulders. Sit up nice and tall. Going to have a bigger little bend in the knees here. Let's reach the arms up. Hinge from the hips. Bring the belly to the thighs. Fold yourself in. Paschimottanasana. Hands to the feet or the shins or the mat. Lift yourself up and then find your way down onto your back. Bend the knees. Take the feet wide to the outer edges of your mat. Drop both knees over to the right. And then bring the knees up. Drop both knees over to the left. And then begin to just drop the knees side to side. And then bring the knees back up to center. Extend the legs up towards the ceiling, arms up towards the ceiling. Give the arms, the legs, the wrists, the ankles a little roll or shake. And then release everything down to the mat. Find your way into Shavasana. Let go of all effort. And just let yourself melt down into your mat. Back body rooting down towards the earth. And then bring one hand to heart, one hand to belly. Come back to our intention again to be gentle, kind, patient, loving, and compassionate with ourselves. Thank yourself for showing up for you today, for your yoga practice, making yourself a priority. And then release the hands. Slowly roll yourself over to one side. Bring yourself into the fetal position. And then slowly press yourself up. Bring yourself into a comfortable seat. Bring palms together at your heart. Thank you so much for sharing this short, slow flow practice with me today. It was what my body called for. I hope it was helpful for you too. Thanks so much for practicing with me with love and gratitude. Namaste.